1968 Chevelle Super Sport. So here's the day we picked it up. This was May of 2021 in the great state of Alaska. So that last video you saw, last little picture you saw was actually it in the back lot. So here it is up on a lift. I decided the guy I bought it from was nice enough to throw it up on a lift. I got to take a look at it. So initial, oversight, it looks a little crusty, but I'm from New England, so it looked pretty clean. If you keep watching, the video quality gets better and better. These are just small clips I couldn't resist putting in. So I bought the car. It was running and driving. Somebody had taken the big block out, as you can tell by this burnout, if you can even call it that. 12-bolt posi. You can see the two-wheel squeal. But it's a car's an original 4-speed car, really? So it became pretty apparent that it would need some more power. So I went to the junkyard and bought a 6-liter LS, and I decided to try and build the engine and proceeded to have it overbuilt. So it's got pistons and rods. I can put the whole build sheet in another episode. If you stay tuned, you'll see that. But basically, we were in the middle of a transition out of our Alaska duty station to another state. So we had to take the engine as complete as it was. Whole bottom end's assembled, but no heads, no top end, no intake. And we put it in the passenger seat of the car and shipped the car from Alaska down to the lower 48. And you'll see this clip right here. That's the world's first mid-engine Chevelle with a 6-liter LS sitting in the passenger seat. So this is me finally getting the car to Missouri, and I'm pretty excited. So I started tinkering with it, just waiting on parts, waiting on making enough money to set aside to buy the stuff I really want. You can tell the car is rough, but it's solid. So I found some cheap headers just because I could not resist throwing them on there. They're just eBay, they're Jegs garbage, not even polished. So just stuffed them in there just for fun, even though I end up ripping the engine out in a couple clips later. You'll see that. So I finally decided it was time and started tearing the car apart. So I went ahead, removed the front bumper. Became increasingly apparent that this car is a little crooked, which we'll get into next. So went ahead and removed the back bumper. Snapped off several bolts in order to get this thing off. Finally comes off. So start with the front end. Amazing how quickly these parts come off. Finally recruited Sarah to help me out pulling the hood off. Start ripping the inner fenders out. This front passenger side fender was so rotted and so dented. Finally got that off. You can tell the car looks just like Sid. I'm telling you, it's so fitting. If you notice in the first clip, the license plate on the front was CYD, so that was the first proof that this car just had to be named Sid. Looks just like it.
Good, got it all drained out. Didn't even spill a thing.
Alright, here goes. Final big boy steps. Sarah helped me remove the transmission. Nice and gentle. My buddy James let me borrow an engine hoist, a little cherry picker. So that 6-liter, got the build sheet, figuring out which heads we want to put on it. The part I'm struggling with is I don't know what this car is, right? My goal isn't to spend all my money. I think that there's a good happy medium. I want to make the car make a lot of power, but I don't need the best of the best, most expensive Just looking for something really fun and a little bit too much power, but we're shopping around and we'll get that LS built right. But this is just getting the small block out of the way. So finally got it out. All right, that's all antifreeze. I don't know why this thing puked. Literally, I watched the engine vomit as it came off the hoist. Got the oil pan sitting on a pillow and resting up on a tire. So, as you guys noticed earlier in the video, we had put the 6-liter in the passenger seat, so it was time to get that out and get it in a safe location. So I've got it up on an engine stand and wrapped in 3 layers of plastic and just kind of stuffed out of the way in a safe spot. So started gutting the interior here, pulled out the other seat, and fought with the back seat. Anyone who does restorations on these cars knows it's not fun. Whatever I say here makes no sense. It's too late, I guess, in the day. But what I was saying was I had removed the steering column from the power steering pump, and I'd gotten the majority of the body bolts out. So, should we reuse them? All right, here we go. A little sketchy. It was really sketchy, and this is I went about 2 blocks higher, which you'll see in just a second. And that was still by far the sketchiest thing I've ever done. So let's roll this thing out of here. So you'll see later in this video, obviously I was successful in rolling the frame out from under the body. I didn't get any clips of it, but I found a crack on the driver's side of this frame. You'll see more of this in the next episode, but I proceeded to later in this video gut the frame and get all the steering components and suspension components off and just get it down to a bare frame. So you'll see in the next episode coming out very shortly that I took the frame to a frame shop and make a lot of headway, and you'll see I might even put a little teaser clip. The frame looks absolutely brand new now, and I'm currently in the process of wet sanding it. We're doing it right, so stay tuned for that. The car's got some torque thrust wheels on it. They're cool because they go with anything. You know, they're not the most expensive option, but they look good on anything of this era. So that's kind of like a temporary fix. I just had to get those disgusting wheels off there. The car's got some nice nittos on it, but I think this LS is just going to blow those tires off. So thinking about later down the road, looking into some mini tubs or something cool like that to get some chance at traction. So finally get the frame rolled out. The driveway actually drops off pretty steep outside of the garage, so trying to do this by myself at midnight, a little dangerous. All right, Sid. Let the fun begin, baby. I'm so excited. All right. I've elected to take this thing apart in the driveway because it's going quickly. Got the rear end out, get that cleaned up. All the control arms disconnected, and this thing's getting lighter by the minute. Rear end is out. So I actually took the rear end to a shop, had them go through it. I pulled the axles out. Everything looked great, but I don't know anything about anything when it comes to differentials. So got all new bearings, pinion bearing, end bearings. I pulled those out myself. I pulled all the bushings out, dropped the control arms off to get the bushings I couldn't get out, pressed out, and then those are going to get sandblasted and powder coated. The frame's going to get sandblasted and painted because it might need some modifications. You see here the shocks are completely toast, but stay tuned. I'm really excited about this restoration, and it's coming along super great. So leave a comment if you enjoyed it. Let me know if you want to see different clips of things, and stay tuned. The video quality will continue to increase. Thanks.